The Talmud tells us a story about Rabbi Parida. He had a student that he used to teach 400 times until the student got the lesson. One day, the rabbi was called for a mitzvah in town. He continued teaching his student until they finished the whole lesson, but he saw at the end that the student didn't get it. "What happened?" he asked the student. "What's wrong today?" And the student answered, "From the moment they called you rabbi to do a mitzvah, I couldn't concentrate anymore. I kept asking myself, when will you go and leave me here all alone?" Rabbi Parida told him, "Let's start from the beginning." He sat and taught him another 400 times until the student got it. This short, awesome story tells us about a man whose pedagogical dedication is outstanding. I am sure that most of us, after 5, maybe 10 times teaching the same thing to our stubborn student, we would give up. But Rabbi Parida has a well of love and grace inside himself, and he is able to teach the student 100, 250, 387, 400 times until the student gets it. But there is more to this story. First, let's look at his priorities. When he is called to do a mitzvah, he probably runs in his head the options. Should I go do the mitzvah, or should I stay with my student? And he chooses to stay and continue the teaching. Had he chosen the mitzvah, people would know about it, talk about it. Maybe someone would even publish an article in the Jewish Week about the great rabbi we had. Teaching a special needs student doesn't have any glory to it. Yet Rabbi Parida chooses education before everything else. But that's not all. He senses that the student is not content. He deals with this issue openly and honestly. He asks him what's wrong. Over the months or maybe years that he taught this student, he managed to create a relationship based on trust and honesty. So the student is not embarrassed to tell him the truth. The final and most amazing, unexpected, and in my eyes, almost unhuman thing that he does is that he calmly sits near the student and says to him, "Let's start all over again," and teaches him another 400 times. When I was asked to say a few words in honor of Mera, I immediately thought of this story. Rabbi Parida is the type of a teacher we would choose for our children. This is the school director we would choose for our teachers. This is the kind of early childhood director the Jewish Federation would want to hire. I think the Washington Jewish community was blessed with a truly outstanding educator who is the spiritual follower of Rabbi Parida. Like him, Mera is totally dedicated to her mission as a Jewish leader and educator. She has patience for both the brightest and the slowest people in the community, and the very special ability to hear and understand the needs of every school, every teacher, every parent, and every child. Mera has the most precise priority list for her educational work, and a very clear vision of where the community should be going to. To find all these qualities in one person is extremely rare. And I truly believe, with all my heart, that God sent all of you guys a note of love when Mera started working for the Jewish community of Greater Washington. After all those words of praise, let me say one thing about the weakness of Rabbi Parida and Mera. In my eyes, both of them seem to me not very good in public relations. First, they are very modest. And second, they are so dedicated to others, they don't have enough time to make a name for themselves. Luckily enough, Rabbi Parida had someone who understood how important his story is and wrote it in the Talmud. But I'm happy to tell you, Mera, that you have a group of modern Talmudic editors who love you so much that we decided to write your story not in a book, but in the earth and the land of the State of Israel. In your honor, we will create a Teva garden for young children in the urban eco-oasis in Gan Yavne. Here, on this barren piece of land, we will build an ecological playground for young children based on Reggio teachings, the Jewish Torah, and values all of us believe in. The materials will be purchased with the money donated by your friends in Washington, and the physical work will be done by an Israeli group of volunteers. In your next visit, you will come to teach Reggio's approach to outdoor play with natural materials to the Israelis involved with the project. In my vision, one day early childhood trips from Washington to Israel will become a common reality. I can already see in my mind kids and parents from Washington enjoying a full day of meaningful activities in Meira's Teva garden together with their Israeli peers. I so wish I could be there with you right now. But since I'm stuck here in Israel, let me at least send you a huge virtual hug and also my vision for what we can do here together. In the future, this place will be filled with happy children playing in Meira's Teva garden that was created with the love and respect that all of us share for Meira. Shalom, my friends, and see you soon here in Israel in Meira's Teva garden.